Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. So a few days ago, or a week ago, I did a video calculating the theoretical ferry ranges of the big fighters, F-15, F-18, F-14, Mirage, 27 and the 29. I hope you watched that because it was well, just interesting data. If you like data sets like me, then it's interesting. And if you like DCS. So you guys said, or you said a few things. You said the next fighters, or the next planes that you want adding are the AV-8B and the AJS37. So that's my next job, to go and collect the data and put it in and compare them. Before we do that, we want to start making what we've already got a little bit more accurate. Obviously, it takes a lot of kind of generalizations and therefore it's not too accurate. So we're going to start working to make it a bit more accurate as we go on. Every time we add in a new plane, then we'll just do a little work on it when we get a minute. So first things first, landing pounds. The amount of fuel it takes a plane to land. I just went back and found out where I got this figure from. This was only from one aircraft. It turns out it's from an F-14B to land, and if you go back and watch the original video that we did, it was a pretty decent typical approach, circuit and landing. So we'll keep that with the Tomcat, 800 pounds of fuel to land. But rather than assume that all of these aircraft take the same, that's a little bit silly. The reason I'm starting to do this is because if we start adding the really light things like Sabre, MiG-15, F5, these figures really start to pollute their accuracy because they're really tailored for such big fighters. So we're going to change that. The proper way is I should go in and really record these fighters, do their landings, but I just feel so rotten today. I don't think I can deal with it. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to just make some assumptions but make it a bit more accurate. So if F-14 managed 800 pounds and F-14 is a what I call a, I've added this table in here, is what I call a heavy fighter, 800 pounds for the landing. Then what I'm going to say is, and I'm going to make some, again, generalizations, but what should we say? Say half the weight, about 400 pounds, about 550 pounds, about, why can't I average that? 800, 400 divided by 2, is that just 600? No. So that should be 533 plus 133, 666. There we go. So I'm generalizing that a medium fighter is 666, a light fighter is 555, and a super light fighter, Sabre, MiG-15, F5 is 400 pounds that it takes to land. And so I've generalized it like this. Another way I could have done it is I could have done this by a ratio and based it on the aircraft's cruise. Sorry, where is it? Here, what we figured out, the amount of pounds, the gas mileage that it does, what we calculate the gas mileage. However, I'm still not happy with that. I mean, the F-14's come so low, it's nearly twice as good gas mileage as the F-15C Cruise, which a lot of you guys said is true and adds up with a lot of real life history, but I still don't buy it. I still don't buy something so big and heavy, heavier than this fighter here, bigger and draggier than this fighter here, with bigger engines, could be half the miles per gallon. I still don't buy it. I need you guys to really prove it to me in elementary physics how that can be possible, and so I'm not going to roll with that. Instead, I'm just going to go with a basic bit of logic that, you know, half the weight, half the amount of fuel. Okay, same with the fog. We've generalised fog, 13 fuel on ground, the amount of fuel that an aircraft legally has to land with. Try and keep this as realistic as we can. 1320 pounds. Now that was for the F-18C on general airfield ops. So let's spruce that up and down. So if we go heavy, we go 1500, should we say? That would mean light would be 1140 and super light would be 960. No, I think that needs to be a bit more extremed, doesn't it? So let's extreme that up a little bit. I think light would be more like 1020. This would be more like come on brain, don't fail me now, 720. I mean a heavy, push it up to 1620. So that's what we're going to do. So the heavy fighter is going to be 1620 fog. The medium, which is real, that's a real life case, 1320. The light is 1020, and a super light is 720. Super light would probably even be less than that, maybe. But I think it's not perfectly realistic, but it gets us a little bit closer to what is realistic, okay? We need to add fog into the calculations. We haven't added that in yet. So why don't we go back to landing then? So F-15 is a heavy fighter. F-18 is a medium fighter. F-14B is a heavy fighter. Mirage 2K is a light fighter, which is going to increase that range even more, which is a little bit stupid, but there you go. AJS37 heavy fighter. MiG-29 is a medium fighter. 666. AV-8B is a light fighter, or a light plane. 533. And AJS37, I think we're going to put that as a light as well. And I'm also thinking about the amount of engines it's got as well, you know, to what class they put it into. Come on, think, man. Like that. Haven't got any super lights in. We'll do the super lights will be the F5, the F86, maybe MiG-19. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a think about it. Look at the burn rates and whatnot. Okay, now I need to factor this into the actual. Oh, I think it already has. Let me just check. Yeah, that's already factored in there. Look. So that's that already done. Next, I want to do two things. First of all, I never actually measured the distance it takes to take off and get up to cruise altitude for the F-14, so we're just going to pretend it's average, when the average is 60 nautical miles, so we put 60 nautical miles in there, 60. If it's going to let me, you're going to let me. Yes, you are. Get rid of that. And we do need to convert that into miles, so it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So, and now we need to factor this in. So we go to the end calculation. What we do is not that there, but is it good enough for silly buggers? But that there. Bloody thing's a pain in the ass. I'm trying to say that plus M31, which is that there. So that, let's just grab all that out, equals that plus that, but I've got to convert that into miles, which is 1.15, isn't it? Times 1.15. So that has modified that slightly. So that in miles plus M31. Let's just double check I got that right. So 60 times 1.15 equals 69. Yep. Okay. And then F18 ping, and then the F14 exactly the same, which is makes sense. Mirage has gone down, and that's because we had an average before, so that makes sense. And down there. Okay. And that is H38, which is there. I haven't built out the data, so that makes sense. Plus, yeah, right. Beautiful work. So we've now done the landing pounds, made it a little bit more realistic. We've got the proper distances configured into here, which is fine for takeoff up to cruise altitude. Fog we were doing. Haven't done fog yet. Fog, we need a new category. We'll eliminate windage for the time being. Heavy fighter is that. A medium fighter is that. Heavy fighter is that. A light fighter is that. A heavy fighter is that. A medium fighter is that. A light fighter is that. Light is that. And we've got to factor this in somehow. So where do we factor this in? It's going to be here, isn't it? So instead of, this is going to be a little bit of a bitch. So all I do here is go, take that out and go K31. K31. Pew. So this is now L31, which is itself. No, I31. That is I31, total amount of fuel, minus K31, which is fog, plus F31, which is amount it needs to take off, plus G31, which is the amount it needs to land, which is all correct. So what I could do now is just ping that all the way down. Pew. Okay. So now we've got the table manipulated so that it now takes in a bit more realistic fog and a bit more realistic landing and more realistic amount of and it actually facilitates the calculate in the amount of distance it takes as well to take off, because the Mirage or an SU takes that many miles with mil power up to cruise. That takes 85 miles, just the way it works with its air resistances and stuff. And we've had some small changes in here, nothing major obviously. They kind of averages itself out. Right, that's the first stage of this video done. We've made this a bit more accurate, and we'll go on and we'll add more stuff as we go on, but that'll do for now. Next thing we need to do is just get in the air. We start populating the yellow data fields need populating today, in particular the raw data. This is what's going to come out of DCS here, and then we do the calculations and stuff. So I'll meet you back in DCS. Okay, we're in DCS now. So let's start off with the AV8B. We have to do two tests, well, several tests. So first of all, we do the takeoff and climb to altitude test. We do that with our full fuel tanks on. So we're going to take 4 fuel tanks here, this guy, 1 fuel tank and this, and full internal fuel. So the maximum fuel load possible to give us the maximum total range possible. We're going to climb up to cruise altitude of 32,500 feet as agreed on this test. All of our standard parameters are otherwise the same as normal, 20 degrees Celsius. Ground level 29.92 inches, mercury QNH. We've got the loadout as specified, maximum fuel tanks, no other stores, maximum internal fuel. Fuel burn will be turned on for the climb, or it depends for the cruise. After these climb tests, we'll do the cruise. In fact, I'll just talk about the cruise when we get to the cruise test. Fuel burn will be turned on for the takeoff, certainly. We're going to measure how far it takes to get from the ground base to transition to cruise. In terms of technique, it's going to be whatever we see most sensible and realistic for a ferry climb to cruise altitude. Okay, AV8B first. Let's see if we can remember how to fly this little baby.
Generator.
So what have we got here? Maximum, we've got the fuel is 70 pounds more than that, but that would do. Do we have any kind of fuel burn out of interest? Well, it doesn't matter at the moment. There's our fuel weight currently. I know we're ticking down a bit, but I'm not going to worry about a handful of pounds. Otherwise, we're all good. Takeoff, I'm going to assume, is going to be most efficient, what, with half flaps, I'm guessing. As you can see, we've got our fuel, 4 massive tanks on, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, take off water. I think we're Oscar Mike, you know. Just check we're recording and everything's going. Yes, we are. Let's go. Double check which runway we're taking off from is that one there. She is a heavy biatch. What a heavy biatch. There's one fueled up mother. God, how does this work then? Right, I remember. Go, lady. Oh, why are you so heavy? Gear up. Nozzles forward. Nozzles back.
Pull up, pull up.
Flaps up.
Power, power.
There we go. It wasn't that hard, look.
Check gear, check gear.
I'm trying. Gear's fine. Gear's up. Double check. Yep, we're in cruise config. What?
Power,
Or is something wrong?
Check gear, check gear.
Make sure the gear is up. It is up. Bloody woman.
Pull up, pull up.
Oh, we've still got the water on. That's why.
Power,
Right.
power.
So, in terms of our climb profile, we're just going to do whatever feels most... Really? Are you serious?
Pull up, pull up.
But we're 3,000 feet and going up.
Check gear, check gear.
Let's just ignore whatever this woman's... I don't know why she's doing it.
Pull up.
So we're just going to go whatever feels comfortable, not particularly fast, not particularly low. There's no real right or wrong way of doing it. I don't know what the maximum efficient way of doing this is. I haven't got the time to sit here all day and work it out. So we're just going to do the other planes, do it more or less by feel. The other planes, I think, did about 250 knots IAS on the climb. So as long as we stick to roughly that, got roughly the same thing going on. I'm not full power. I'm about 90%. Feels about right. Possibly go a little bit more efficiently, but it's going to take forever. So I'm just going to trim myself out. Can't remember how to do AFCS with... Let's just... No, I'm not going to try it. Okay. 32,000, here we come. Naturally, the airspeed is going to show lower, obviously, because it's airspeed. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Fluctuations up and down the pitch don't really matter. I've done a little bit of testing on this. They all kind of even themselves out. Whether you go straight up on a perfect climb or kind of notch up and down, it doesn't really make a great deal of difference. Assuming this thing can fly at 32.5 feet, Angels. I've never actually panned out. It's a very powerful plane, this is. Okay. Struggling a little bit. What's our alpha? Ooh, big alpha. I'm going to have to go full power and just get us out of this stall. It's my fault for going too slow. I wasn't watching the IAS because I'm an idiot. I should have gone a bit faster, really. Okay, alpha's coming down. Start heading up a bit again. Speed's still increasing. Start coming down on the power again. Turns out it's quite hard to get up to this altitude while we're so heavily loaded. This is why we put this bit in the test, because it can take a plane 100 miles to get up to altitude without using afterburner or anything that will send it run over. Use full power a few times, but that's nothing like an afterburn. Nearly there. Just going to be patient. As soon as we're up to cruise, she'll be fine. Come on, old gal, get up there. It really is struggling. We're going to have to go full power. There's nothing for it. Now, what you're going to say at this point, hey Cat, but the problem is these aircraft are going to have different altitudes, different most optimal altitudes. They're not all going to be 32,000. You're absolutely right, but we agreed at the beginning, as from the horse's mouth from a real pilot, to test them all at 32,500. So I'm just going to go with it. Otherwise I think things are going to get a little too complicated. Unless we really can't get planes up here. Like this one is struggling a bit, obviously. I think we'll get there, just about in a Harrier. Okay, we're up finally. Jesus, that took a bit of time, didn't it? Okay. Tiny bit higher. Come on, baby. And, you know what? Between friends, that's near enough. How much fuel have we burnt? Oh, God, we've burnt a lot. We're down to 1403. Let's get the calculator out. I know that wasn't a perfect climb, but like I said, generally, they kind of work themselves out about right, even if you're not on the perfect glide slope. It's so close. So, what was it? 15,770 total minus 14,003. So it burnt 1,767 on that climb. Let me go and put that in there. And that was actually a lot. 1,700 and, sorry, what was that? 1,767. Actually burnt quite a lot getting up there. So, well, I mean, I couldn't have gone much less RPM, really. It just wouldn't have got up there. So, I'm not sure what to do. Next, how long did it take? Oh my goodness. It took forever. Well, it may turn out we have to do separate rules for these attack planes. Maybe they just can't, do what the big fighters do. So that's about normal. 63, we'll go 63 nautical there. Okay, so that is the climb part of the test done. Next, we're going to start again with half fuel exactly, including bags. So we're going to have to jink things about a bit. It's going to be about 7,000 something, 7,700, I think. We worked it out. And fuel burn is going to be turned. Or that means we just need to find out what instruments we've actually got in here for finding our fuel burn. So unless I'm being a knob, which is entirely possible, I can't actually see my fuel burn. There it is. Fuel flow, pounds per minute. I do have my fuel flow. Great. Right, I'll report in with the new bird with the new rule set. We'll have fuel burn turned off. We'll be down to half fuel, including fuel bags, averaged out, and we'll try some different tests. Okay, first thing, get barometric hold on the go. And back up. Jesus, she's slow. Back up to altitude. Barometric hold, barometric hold. Yep, I think that's going to work. We're going to go to, we've got the pounds per minute burn there. We're going to go to true speed measures at the bottom here. So we're doing everything true today. Sorry, we're not. Indicated airspeed. Yep, just looking back at my test, it is indicated speed. So to show you our loadout, it is indeed 4 tanks only and nothing else. And we've got the 7,886 pounds, I believe it is. So let's start our test at a set of speed. So we're going to go to AJS37 first and check our fuel burn there and start filling out the raw data. Just be holding there. And fuel flow of 102 pounds per minute. Next, let's go 275. Check fuel burn is turned off, and it is. Don't want that corrupting our results. I'm just going to hold 275. Yep, it's holding. Pounds per minute is 113 pounds per minute. 113. Stand by. Because this is so easy to do, we might as well do 300. If we can get 300, nearly on full. We are on full power. We just can't do it. Scratch 300. We can't do it. We're going to burn out an engine or something. So in that case, 225 next. And we're going to stop it falling out the sky. So it's got small wings. I'm not sure how slow we can go in this. Diddy little wings for lots of weight. Balance out 225 there. Come on, up you go. Come on, little one, up you go. Okay, 225. Maybe. Near enough for us, I think. We've got 94 pounds per minute. 94 pounds per minute. Okay, 200. Will she stall at 200? May or may not work. Where's the alpha? Alpha's getting pretty high now, look. 8 degrees. Chunka chunka munka. Chunka chunka munka. Come on, down you come. Alpha 9 degrees. This is where they start getting less efficient because the amount of body presented to the airflow by the high angle of attack outweighs the less air resistance from speed. So feels like she's struggling a bit at the moment. I reckon she's not very efficient. It's surprisingly difficult to balance this. Then try it for yourself. High alpha. She doesn't do what you think she'd do. There we go. Don't think I can get any closer than that. 93 pounds per minute at 200. Just for fun, we'll try 175. I think she'll probably just fall out of the sky, to be honest. Alpha's going to get so friggin' high. Watch this. One thing about this aircraft is it has bucket loads of power at any altitude. It really is quite unlike anything else. 94, 93, so that's, don't know, what do you call that? 93 and a half, I guess. Right, that's the data all done. We're going to kick out of DCS, go and do those results for the, this aircraft, and then we'll go back in and do... Okay, so let's get on with the figures. So 93.5 pounds per minute. We need to convert that into pounds per hour so we can put it in a basic equation. So 93.5 pounds per minute times 60 equals that many pounds per hour. We divide that by 337 miles per hour. Ping, we get... That can't be right. Wow, how inefficient. Wow. As bad as an F-15. We get 16.647. So 16.647 pounds per mile. So, yeah, along with the F-15, it's appallingly badly efficient. Did anyone suspect that? I was not expecting it at all. It's one big engine with a fairly big bypass ratio. I think I stand to be corrected, but maybe it's not got a bypass ratio. Maybe it is a whopping great turbojet with a low bypass. Let me know what you guys know about the Pegasus. But why could it be less efficient than two great big gas gurgling Pratt & Whitney? Something doesn't seem right there. But you saw the figures. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong here. But it's pretty elementary maths, isn't it? So let's do 93. 93 times 60 equals, divided by 383 miles per hour gives 14,569. 14,569. 14.569. So that is the worst. That is the least efficient. This can't be right. Can't be right. That's horrendously inefficient. Since when is a Harrier that bad? Can't be right. It definitely said pound ppm, pounds per minute. Can't be anything else, can it? Oh dear. Right, anyway, 94 times 60 equals, divided by 428 equals 13.178. 13.178 pounds per mile. That's the worst again. Unbelievable. What's going on here? Something's not right here. And it's all engine. There's not much drag in that bird compared to an F-15 and F-14. It's all engine inefficiency. How interesting. It may need to turn out that these attack planes, maybe we have to do it at a lower altitude, at 20,000 feet, 10,000 feet. Again, let me know what you think. Go and do your own tests and let me know. But, weird, huh? I don't see any reason why Pegasus shouldn't work up here. Right, to concentrate. And the alpha wasn't amazingly high compared with any of these other jets. So, 102, getting even worse now, times 60 equals, divided by 472 equals 12,996. 12,966. Still the worst. 113 times 60 equals, divided by 515, 13,165. 13.165. There we go. So the best was here. I need to update that chart. I'll do it when the Viggen comes. 12,966. 12.966 best. There. It can do 72 miles. What? That'll be right. Pull that across. Double check it. L39 divided by L37 divided by E37, which is total miles for cruise divided by pounds per mile, which is right. So you can do that much cruise. So AVAB at 32,000 feet with the optimal ferry, so all the bags on, just over 1,000 miles. Now, because it's single engine, because it's a small light plane, it's got everything running for it. I would have thought that would have gone for 3,000 miles. So, I haven't looked at the official figures of the Harrier. Let me know what you guys think and why it's doing so bad. And of course, let me know if I've cocked up there, which is very likely. Let's go on to the Viggen. Okay, Viggen, take off and climb to altitude. No idea what we're going to expect. I know it hates going high. The maximum angels I can get out of this is 37. This is obviously going to struggle. Everything is optimised for low altitude flying, but again, we promise to keep everything fair and square. Maybe we'll change that later, but we'll see. Instruments. Backup altimeter. Course, magnetic, probably. Pressure, some kind of pressure ratio there. I think it helps us at all. Oh god, what's that? RPMs, probably, times 10. Something to do with kilometers. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Must be a accelerometer. Miles. So what is this here? Not sure what that thing is, but we'll come back to it in a bit. I'm sure it's going to be useful. Otherwise, I don't think we've got any instrument readouts in terms of gas. We've got our fuel gauge here, which starts at 126%. I need to write that down with a bag on. 126%. We'll have to do a bit of basic maths around that. Burnt a little bit, so I'm just going to restart that. Okay, supercap. A nice, efficient climb to Angels, please. No afterburner. There's IAS in this thing. There it is down there. That's in kilometers. Oh no, I've got the IAS down at the bottom there. Okay. Old gal. Nyam. Can't remember the rotation speed in miles, in knots. It's going to be about now though, isn't it? So up we go. Changed the Viggen lately. It's a lot harder to take off. It's a real beast to take off now. Go so careful with it. I just want to burn. I just want to burn. I just want to burn. Allow me to burn, please. Am I airborne? I appear to be stuck in at an impasse. Gonna have to go burners on. No, we're climbing. We are climbing. Are we? No, we're not. We're gonna... no. Alright. Gear up. Okay, I think we're good. Stop burning! Wow, this is hard to fly on mill power. Am I being an idiot or something? Am I... Just my alpha, isn't it? Okay, speed's going up, alpha's going down. Rightio then. I'm not going to climb until I get some speed up, obviously. God, it's so unpowerful compared to the Harrier, obviously. Bearing in mind we haven't got afterburner on. Is that wind up? No, it's not. 400 clicks. So we're going to start climbing about 250 to 270 knots, somewhere around there. Keep it about 250, I found. It's good. It will decrease a bit, obviously, as we're going up, but... Okay, we're picking up speed now. Up we go. I can see this being a real sod. I don't know why I said that, but I just can. It's just not a very powerful engine without afterburner, is it? Good old Volvo. Up we go. Meow. Cool plane though, right? Such a cool plane. It handles so beautifully. It really annoys me that the Tomcat's just not right. It's so shaky and violent in there. Which they would make it feel a bit more like this. I love it. Anyway, I shouldn't really be thinking about that. Concentrate. Speed's going down already. I knew this was going to be a bitch. I'm almost tempted to go on first stage burn, but I just know it's a bad idea for fuel burn. That there, I swear, is a fuel burn. I don't need it at the moment, so it doesn't matter, but I'm going to have to go and get the manual out, which I really can't be asked to do because I'm feeling properly minging today. Alpha's coming down, that's good. Keep the alpha down, and we'll be okay. Right. I'm just going to cruise like this. I'm on mill power, basically. Check I am on mill power. Yeah, I am definitely on mill power. Where's the ADI? There it is. Why don't you want to climb? I know you guys are thinking, oh, put your afterburners on and going straight up. And I have tried that, but it is, on all planes, a much less efficient way of doing it, I can guarantee you. Tried it on almost, well, most of the planes. It just, the afterburner just uses twice as much gas, or more, but you don't get that amount of much power. And plus, because of drag effects and whatnot, you simply don't get twice the overall kinetic performance, should we say. We're going to stall, aren't we? Don't let me use afterburner, I will do it. Alpha's too high. This is going to be a long ass climb. Please tell me I turned fuel burn on. I did it. So if we try and keep alpha between kind of 5 and 6, I don't think we're going to go any lower than that. So concentrate, stop talking. I'm turning, try not to turn, it's not the end of the world, but try not to turn. Which is where I have been turning, but suck it up. Doesn't matter too much. Come on, baby. Alpha's a... it's okay. I'm not even sure if we'll make it to 31 with this airplane without burner on. Then again, she does always surprise me. So, don't you? In fact, it seems to be getting more powerful the higher we go. It's getting easier the higher we go. I can climb higher than I could before in terms of pitch. So, don't know what that's all about, but I'll go with it. We'll go with it. Concentrate, don't stall them. Right, how about that? And wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Ting! Just started, whoops. It started out much harder than the Harrier. I had no power down there with that burner on, but when we got up here, actually it's a lot more better engine up here without the afterburner on. It was feeling lovely. Go and figure that out, I don't know. Right, and the pH has gone up as well. Sorry, the pressure ratio has gone up as well. So we're now exactly 105. So I'm going to go and... oh, I've got to get the... stir distance. shit, which one was it? It was that one. So it was not the longest, 76 nautical miles. So let me go and plug that in. Oops. 76 nautical miles. F-15 was 85 miles to give you an idea. The fuel burn, we don't know yet, but what we can say is 105% down from 126%. We can figure out the pounds a little bit later. It does sound like quite a high fuel burn actually, probably 2,000 pounds of fuel. That's it. Okay, next we're going to turn fuel burn back on, empty the tanks out to half, and go and do our high-level tests. So stand by. Okay, change of plan. It appears we do not have a fuel burn indicator in this aircraft. That gauge was actually a backup speedo according to the manual, so think outside the box, super cap. Yep, what we do is the best we've got, which is to go here, and we're going to go, fuel is not going to be 6,000 pounds, it's going to be 7,000 pounds. Hello? Oh, it's going to be 7,000 pounds. We're going to burn all the way to God, how can we do this? Yeah, we can do this. Right, we can do this. We're going to burn from 7,000 pounds. We're going to burn down to about 5,000 pounds. From that, we can calculate how much fuel we've burnt over a set distance, and we can get our burn rate that way. I know it's going to be a pain in the arse, and there's a bit of margin of error, but there's a margin of error in everything we're doing in this test, so it'll be good enough. So, 7,000 pounds, okay, and we're going to go fuel burn on. Let me just make sure it's on. Okay, save, save. Watch this. And the problem with doing this is that it takes a long time to do the tests, so I have to just set 2 or 3 speeds that I think are going to be the best. Yeah, start with 250, I guess. In, Hodge, power off, speed is good, window up. Let me just get my bearings. So what we can say, no, we're not starting. Yes, we are starting the test now. So the fuel burn is starting at, sorry, the fuel amount is starting at 73%. So we're going from 73% in this test. We're going for 250 knots at the moment. So all there is to say. So we just need to note our current position. So we're going to put a marker on it there. And I'm going to go. And I'm going to get to 250 knots. Okay, that's near enough for us. Alpha is 5.3. She's cruising like a little baby. She's got a tank on, but we're 7,000 pounds. Give us enough to burn. Nyom. Little bit of power on. Right, and we're going to burn basically until we've burnt about 60% or something. It doesn't really matter what we burn here. And it's not burning. And why is it not burning? What have we done wrong? Yes, it is. It's just burning slow. A little bit fast. As she burns fuel down, she'll get faster, of course. So I've just got to monitor the throttle and do what I need to do. Let's see how fast we can get away with driving her. Got quite busy flight models going on. A lot of maths going on in these flight models, which is good and bad. Very difficult if you want to make videos out of this. 3 kind of external videos. But I'm sure it's good for, you know, the flight characteristics. That said, I actually love the flight characteristics of the Flaming Cliffs 3. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe it's because I'm not a real pilot. I'm just not good enough to tell the difference. It may very well be. Right, 60%. You know, as close as we're going to get that from 73%. How many miles have we covered? So, at 250 from 73% to 60%. We got 101 nautical miles, not miles, but nautical miles. I've got to do some conversion work there. Okay, let's go back, reset, go again, at a different speed. Hello, you gonna do it? Biggin. Hard on. Oh, that was weird. Okay, it's because I'm in fast forward. Let's ignore that. Pew, pew. Hard on. Speed down. Window up. Power down. We're at the same percentage, obviously, so we don't need to look at that again. We're going to 225 this time. Oh, shit. I forgot about the mark. Oh, where did it come from? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Yes, the mark's already there. You little baby. 5.3 alpha again, so pretty much the same alpha. And alpha is what it's all about up here, about obtaining fuel efficiency, possibly even more than profile drag. Right, here we go. See how fast we can get away with it. 15 low. For this flight model, I expect ED give the developers a maximum processes per second or whatever, and that's their limit. Oh, hang on, I'm not concentrating now. And that's the programmer's limit that they can set for the flight models. If you know what I mean. Otherwise, they would just make it so, you know what people are like, heat blow, you know what they're like, they'll make it so complex that it just won't work in the real world. Right, need to stop talking. There we go. Right, 226. We know how much fuel we burnt off because it's the same amount, so all we need to do is measure the distance we went, which is an interesting way of doing things. Piam to Supercap to space. 97 nautical. Okay. So I can actually work if the amount of fuel burnt off that is worse efficiency than the other one. So all we need to do is go up now. So let's just go and redo 275 and then we've done. Back. Okay. Right. Are we fast forward? I don't know. We just have to go for it. Harge on. Speed up. Check our points there. And it is, mate. Window up. Speed up. Not much, idiot. Really? Can you go that fast? Burner didn't come on, did it? Nah. You know what? I reckon we're okay, troops. I reckon we're settled there. No, not quite. Oh, why are you speeding up? You drive me nuts sometimes. You know what you do? Drive me nuts. Must be because we're burning gas off. Ping! Ping! Stop! Pretty good, pretty good. So, wow, got more efficient. That's kind of annoying because it means we've got to do 300. Where's my? So 106. Means we better reset and go and do 300 knots, which is kind of annoying. Harge, power on. If you can do that without burning, might not be able to do it. But it did feel like it was. Really does work well up here. I mean, you know what? I'm really surprised how well it works up here. I really thought it was going to be shocking, but it's actually bloody good. Right, stop talking for just a mic. Just check the data point is there. Stop. Yes, it is. Go. Hey, how about that for a guess? Maybe a bit high. Okay, off we toot. Little Viggen. Never fail to impress, you little monster. It's going a bit slower this time in terms of game engine, so it must be taking a lot more forces into account. I should say there's no wind on any of these tests. I'm sure you will know that by now after 2,000 videos of all exactly the same test parameters. Concentrate gap. Where's the? There it is. Weird engine. This, you know what? This is a weird engine. It doesn't seem to be following anything that the other planes are doing. I mean, think how different this is compared with that Pegasus and the Harrier. In terms of profile stop. That's about right, isn't it? Please don't be higher than 106. .104. Yeah, it's going back down again. Right, we found our peak at 275 knots. Which is exactly what our pilot friend told me it should be. So this is an accurate simulator. Right, we've got our data. Let's report back to Windows. Yo, make sure I was recording that, and I was. Beautiful. Right, okay, let's get those brains going, people. So raw data is in. These are the amount of nautical miles the Viggen covered at those IAS not there. So what we need to work out is how much fuel it burnt. It burnt 13% between 60 and 73. So we need to work out how many pounds a percent is, and we can do that. If we know 126% equals 12,101 pounds, And all we've got to do is get our trusty calculator. 12,101 divided by 126 equals 96 pounds per 96.040 pounds per percent. So times that by 13 times 13 equals 1248.5. So this many nautical miles divided by 1248.5 pounds. 1248.5. 1248.5. Okay. All makes sense. Next, we want to convert that into. In fact, I'll do that in the main conversion. So let me think. So nautical miles. So okay, we can do this. So what we can say is, it is Viggen. It is nautical miles per 1248.5 brackets. Why does it keep doing that? That's so annoying. Times the ratio to convert into miles, 1.15078 from above. Close bracket. Next, we've got to divide. We've got to convert that to, what is it, pounds per mile. So what we're going to do is convert that into. Divide that by the amount of pounds that we burnt off. So divide that by 1248.5. That was. I think. Okay, so like that. So that gives us. That's right, isn't it? 1 divided by that. Invert that. Let's try that. So, it's going to be lots of umming and erring during this one. That times 1.15078 equals divided by 1248.5, near enough, equals, and I just go 1 over x now, don't I, to get 10.25 pounds per mile, right? That's right, isn't it? So what I do then is plug that into the operative one, which was this here, which is 10.235. 10.235. So it's same as an F-18C, which is interesting. So check my maths, please. I'm no mathematician. That term there just refers to what we've got there. Okay. Sorry. Come on, brain. Calculator. Let's do the next one then. So it's just a case of repeating now, isn't it? So 4. Right, that's our fuel burn rate for the Viggen. Bit of a pain in the arse to get there, but we got there. We should really add it to our fuel burn chart at the moment. So let's see if we can figure out a way of getting this to update. Okay, we've got the new data in. So the AVA beacon is the worst. We've taken it up to whatever that is, 250 knots, because we couldn't get it any faster. Or miles per hour ground speed, as you can see there, ground speed. The Viggen is interesting profile. You see how it tops out a lot faster. The reason for that, of course, is it's the only thing here apart from the flanker, which is not carrying bags, so it can go a lot faster to get to its max efficiency. And you can see the flanker peaks exactly the same, or very close to the same efficiency there at 515. Whereas these big things, like whatever that is, the Mirage, carrying whopping great tanks, so they're most efficient lower down. Same with the F-15, most efficient. So it shows how well this thing is modelled. Apart from, well, we've talked about the Tomcat anyway, but the Tomcat is weird, does different things to the other aircraft. But if the data wasn't accurate, what we'd see is different trends, unrealistic trends. These trends are exactly what my fighter pilot friend told me to expect. So it's pretty cool, right? Pretty happy with how that works. It, again, reinforces your faith in Wagner. So that's it. So we just got to fill the table out now, and we're diddly done. So we've got to work out how much we burnt on the takeoff and climb. So it is 126 minus 105 equals 21 times. Fuck it! I've just got rid of what that number was. Incredibly annoying. So, never mind. We can do it by memory. 12, 1, 0, 1. Divided by 126 equals 96.03968 pounds per percent times 21% equals 2017, which is high. And its distance is 76. That's just how it was. It was struggling to get up there. We felt, obviously, its cruise pounds, but its most efficient is there at 10,235. 10,235. And that's it. We're done. Oh, wow. Pathetic. But there you go. Right, stand by. So the summary. I was interested in getting that data. The AV8B and the AJS37 were just quite different from the fighters, I felt, in their efficiency. So the AV8B, it turns out, is up there, as far as I could tell, massively inefficient. Like less efficient than two Pratt & Whitneys on an F-15 that's heavily weighted down. Why? Don't know. Can't figure it out. It just is terribly efficient up there. So that's for you guys to tell me now. It took a lot of fuel for its weight and size to get up to altitude. This was low because of reasons we talked about earlier. This was fairly high. The total of pounds it can carry was actually very high. It can carry more fuel than a MiG-29. Can carry almost as much fuel as a Mirage 2000. So for the weight of the thing, it can carry a lot of fuel, nearly as much as an F-18. This is just the test amount, obviously, reasons we've talked about. The fog is low. That gives it a bonus. Gives it a boost. The cruise pounds is high at 12,000, or moderately high. Cruise miles, unfortunately, because the fuel burn is very low at 960, gives us a total ferry distance based on this here. Remember, fog is now dynamic. Fog is there. Of 1,032 miles compared to a Mirage 2000 at 2,500, nearly 50 miles. Incredibly bad endurance. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you see any errors in that. But if you go back and watch the video, I can't find any. Next, AJS37, even worse. It's pretty inefficient. It is inefficient up there as an F-18C. It doesn't like getting up to Angels 32. It makes a real meal of it. Over 2,000 pounds it takes to get that lightweight aircraft up there. That's low for reasons. It took a long time to get up there for reasons that we talked about. All sorts of reasons. Its total fuel load is the lowest here, and we know that because it can only carry one relatively small tank. That's just how it is. There's the test. There's a fog, which gives it a bonus. The amount of fuel it's got left for cruise after the climb and the landing and the fog is very low compared to anything else, and that's its main Achilles heel. It just hasn't got the gas in there to do the cruise with. Its cruise miles is 833, which is a function simply of that there and that there, which is very bad, and it can only do 920 miles with its one fuel tank on. Bear in mind that's only one fuel tank. That's not actually that bad, but scratch that. I don't know why I said that. That number is what matters at the end of the day, and it is bad. It's worse than an F-18. So let me know what you think. Is it because we're making these aircraft fly so high? If so, why can't an AJS37 be efficient upstairs? Why can't an AV8B be efficient upstairs? I think because of the light air up there, they should be able to. I just can't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to do that. So those are the official scores. Hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to doing the F-16. See you later.